Okay, welcome to the stream. Let me just make sure this is all running and that I have audio working. And let's take a listen. Yep, audio is good. Okay, welcome. All right, so I am watching the chat, so feel free to drop by. Now, just give me a minute to share this on my socials, please. Let me get this sharing on Twitter and on LinkedIn. And there's the tweet. And let me get it onto LinkedIn. Streaming live artificial intelligence network automation development with langchain, OpenAI, chromaDB, Elastic, Docker. Join the revolution. All right, let me post that, and let's see. I also wanted to retweet something else. Give me 1 second. And let's quote this and say, come join the AI revolution. All right, thanks for joining, everyone. Make sure you say hi and let me know where you're tuning in from. What we're going to do is yeah, okay, good. So, all right, where to start? I have a pyATS job, and this is the job file. And what the job file does is basically all I'm doing is learning .learn interface and stuffing it into a file. All right, so that's pyATS's role in this, is to connect to the device, create a JSON file, and specifically I don't want just the .info, what I'm writing to. I'm getting the learn interface and I'm wrapping info into a dictionary with a key of info, because I need to JavaScript query, JSON query this data later. So that's why I'm adding this info here. Otherwise it's just the JSON dictionary without a key. So then I have AI time, and this is where I've started with langchain. And the first thing I'm doing here is, and let me comment this as we go, right? Load OpenAI key from .env file, right? Load JSON. So we're loading with a JSON loader. And let me even take a step back. I'm going to show you something that this is what I'm following. So if you Google langchain and go to the documentation and go to data connection, this is what we need to achieve here today. And our source is JSON from the network device, right? So in source, swap out YouTube or PDF or Excel or HTML or tweets or WordPress. There is a ton of different document loaders. All of these things can be loaded. I happen to be using the JSON loader. All right, where did that go? So we load the JSON with our loader. Then we're going to transform it into smaller chunks, turn it into embeddings. Now, what are embeddings? Embeddings are a list of floating point numbers. This is what AI actually works with. It doesn't work with what you're chatting, what you text in, what you type in as text. It actually transforms that into floating point numbers, and that is what's stored and retrieved. So we need a vector store, and this is what I'm playing with today. Now, if we go to integrations, I have chromaDB, and this is very good, and it's working, and this is basically all I'm doing here.
Now I'm doing it a little different, and I might tune it to maybe look like this.
So here's some examples. And I am doing it a little bit more advanced than the basic example. However, I might come back and just try this similarity search. And you see here the embedding function here is not OpenAI. So that's an open source free embedding. I'm using the OpenAI embedding. Load it into Chroma. See, I'm doing mine slightly different. So I might actually come back and try it this way. But the point is, in the integrations, I also want to use Elasticsearch. Okay, so this is how you do it with Elasticsearch. Now I have two working examples. So I have it working with Chroma. Let me go back to that Chroma example. And this is the basic example. So I'm not getting great results right now with what I have. So I do my JSON loader, I load in the JSON, I set my schema, and it's not text content, it's JSON. I load and split it, I set up, and this is what I'm playing with is chunk size to see, right, so let me keep commenting here. Right, use loader to load and split into pages, create a text splitter, split the pages using the text splitter into docs, create our embeddings, store in Chroma. So here's how I'm doing my Chroma. I'm setting up my vector DB equals Chroma from documents. So Chroma from documents. And I'm using my documents, my embeddings, and apparently I don't need this persist directory, so let me get rid of that. And then I set up vector DB persist to make it persistent. And then I'm doing this a little different. They just do a similarity search. So let me do two things here. First, I'm using my conversational memory, and then I'm setting up a conversational retrieval chain from LLM, OpenAI, my vector as retriever and memory. So actually, let's go ahead and add a second question using, and I'm going to say in my response here, this is from conversational retrieval chain Chroma, just so that we know. All right, so then what I'm actually going to do is set up, okay, so I have QA there, QA.run. So what we're going to do is add another one here. And our query in this case is going to be the question. So let's do a similarity search against question. And where's DB in this case? Vector DB. Let's just see that. And then what we're going to do is, what happened here? Oh, I see this here. The print pages results. So this is from similarity search using Chroma. Oh, I can't wrap it in that because, so I'm just going to have it without those keys. And this result is going to be this. And let's make this one yellow. I think yellow is a color in rich. I'm using rich, by the way, to print these colors out. Okay, so Okay, let's try it. Okay, so it's going to run the pyATS job and scrape that data. Make the file and then hand it off to the AI function. And the neat thing is I have the JSON to reference it, so I know there are multiple interfaces. There's actually quite a few interfaces. But I haven't been getting great results from the chat when I ask it, how many interfaces do I have? So there's actually a ton of interfaces on here. Most of them are loopbacks. There are some tunnels, right? So that's the data that should be vectorized. All right, so how many interfaces do I have? So the retrieval chain says I don't know, and the similarity search gives me the I don't know, the JSON payload from one of the interfaces. So the similarity search is just the similarity search, and we get one hit back here. And it says, I don't know, from the conversational chain. So maybe some other questions, right? How many loopback interfaces do I have? Maybe if we're more specific, you have 3 loopback interfaces, which is, incorrect. I have all of those loopback interfaces. Let me shut my WebEx off on this machine. But we did get different similarity search result back. So this is sort of, hey, no problem, Steve. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you joining. So it's like, it kind of works. I've had other results. So, right, you have 3 loopback interfaces. I actually have 3 physical interfaces. Let me tell it that. Actually, I have 3 physical interfaces. How many loopback interfaces do I have? 3, right? So it's wrong. So let's, right, so the guidance I've been giving is that maybe the chunk size is too big and or too small here when I'm chunking my data in AI time. So the retrieval chain, the similarity search is not going to help us. Let's go back to the documentation here and see if they build on the similarity search here, right? So basic example. So what am I missing here? It's, chroma from documents. Okay, docs equals similarity search query. Am I doing, so I have the question, yeah. Sorry, I'm just sitting here silent looking at, hey Christian, thanks for joining. I'm just trying to see what, similarity search query. Am I passing the right thing to that query? Question is that, and I should be doing the similarity search against the vector DB. So why is this page.content giving me like JSON output instead of, unless that's all it does is give me the text as opposed to the query back. Yeah, it's actually the content. All right. So not quite what I'm after here. Okay, so I thought I closed. Let me get out of that. People are excited about things. Okay, so anyway, I am where I am here. The whole point of this was, and let me, I don't want that similarity search anymore. So let me just comment that out. Now, what I need to do next is turn this into a Docker container, and then I can start using Elastic. Or I can use Elastic without the container, but I'm more comfortable with using a container for this. Now, I'm going to need a Docker file, and I'm going to need a Docker compose. No. Hang on, I'll go find one. So what is my Elastic code? I am using Elastic with my YouTube chat. So let me go there and steal some code, because I don't want to rewrite this from scratch. So my Docker file. And let's massage this a little bit. So I need Python. I don't need Django. I don't need Django REST frame. I don't need half of this stuff. I will add rich. Langchain. I don't need pymu. What did I have to install? JQ. Chroma. OpenAI. Tick token. There was tick token. What else do I use in here? Rich, langchain, JQ, Chroma. I think that's it. And I don't need that. Elasticsearch I need. Copy in. I guess I should put all of those into a folder. Chat with Catalyst. I don't need that, I need that. Take my script out. Okay, so copy those in and then convert the script, and that script should be called startup, and then run the startup script. Okay, so that's my Docker file. I think that's good. Not running Django, so I don't need that. Oh, I need pyATS. Right. So pyATS full. Okay, that should be good for my Docker. Now, I need a compose. And we're going to just call this chat with Catalyst. Let's bring it up on 8200 just to be safe. I don't need an encryption key. I don't have a database, so I don't need Postgres here. Oops. But I do want Elastic and Kibana. And what's the other one I bring up? Elastic View And they can all stay on the default ports. Right, I need my Elastic stuff. I didn't want to open Discord. I think I'm good to go here. Now I'll refactor the, I'll bring Elastic into the code in a second. Let me just see if this Docker comes up. Oh, I need to start Docker, huh? That would help. 9 people. Hey, welcome to the stream, everyone. We're just getting into the good stuff here. I'm going to, oh, and I have other Elastic containers I got to get rid of. And I need to make an index. Well, that's fine. I'll have to do it that way. Let me get rid of these. Why is DNA in use? Sorry, just cleaning up here before I get started. I got a bunch of, they're going to have conflicts. So, right, so for Elastic, right, I need this file, right, because I need to make, all right, never mind. Oh, so Elastic's a little different. I need an index in Elastic before I can write my shards to it, and I just need that text file to create my index. But for now, let's try to bring up the Docker and just see if everything runs here. And then I can use the Docker to connect to that image once it's up and make sure that, you know, my JSON file got created and everything. Now this might take a little bit of time because it's got to bring up the 3 Elastic containers, which I need to not delete after I make that index. So once Elastic is up, I will go ahead and make that index for our project, so that way we can start stuffing things into it. Let me know where you're from in the world. We've got 8 or 9 people watching. I really appreciate you joining on Sunday. This wasn't planned or anything. I haven't had a lot of time to work on my own code. I've been writing a book and I've been doing lots of other things personally. So I wanted to get into chatting. Okay, what's going on here? No such file or directory. I have Docker file. Oh, great. What's wrong here? Docker file. It's right there. Chat with Catalyst / Docker. It's right there. Is it case sensitive? / YouTube not found. What's picking up YouTube? Oh, right. Okay, so the folder's got to be lowercase, and here we are, we're assembling it. So we're getting a little closer here. Hey Steve, yeah, thanks for joining, man. We should connect offline or ping me and send me a message on LinkedIn or something. Let's connect. I'd love to see what you're up to. So this is just going to take a second to build the container. Let's quickly check in on the world around us. Okay, so yeah, this is all going to be cached from here on. So this is a one-time thing here. So I guess I could get started on the Elastic. I have to wait for the container to come up though. So what I'm going to do with the Elastic, let me actually start the code. Oh, I closed it. And that's going to be in my initialize file. It's really not much. It's pretty simple stuff here. I'm going to steal this code. And put it here. So QA chain, good. That's already uniquely named. Where do I get Elastic user and password? I'll come back to that. And I don't need to return the chain. This is a little out of order. I gotta cut that. All right, so I've set up QA chain using Elastic Vector Source Search. So now here, I'm gonna have Elastic results is a similarity search against Elastic. And then I need and this goes here with the print. All right, so what am I doing here? So I'm doing a new response. Well, this is all inside of that function. Okay, so now, do I use response? No, I have result. So I'm going to say response equals, you are an insightful, so I'm going to change this to you are a insightful expert level network engineer who is answering questions about Catalyst, iOS XE, network state, configuration, or log data. Please be helpful, insightful, and go step by step. That's what I'm going to use for my prompt. We can change this prompt around a little bit. All right, now my role in this case is my context, and my question in this case is the question, and then I need to print this response using rich print. And let's differentiate this. So I have yellow, blue. Let's make this one green. And what we're printing here is that green. And everything looks like it came up. Or at least Elastic and Cabana are coming up. Or are up. Okay, hang on a second. Chat with interfaces underscore job does not exist. So my container failed. Running pyATS to get data. pyATS run job. That's what I'm doing. The provided job file does not exist. Okay, well, while the container is up, let me take a look at it. Did I not copy that in? Let me start it. I'm not going to be able to get into it. Why is that not working? All right, let me populate Elastic while it's up anyway. So that's going to be hopefully on localhost 9200. And this is Elastic? No. What is it? I thought it was Elastic. Is it Merlin? Merlin. Okay. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to go into Postman. This is kind of neat. You get to see me make an index in Elastic. Where's my Elastic? Okay, actually, so this is already set up for me here. Do I have my body? And so if I make this a get, change that to a post, authorization is Elastic and Merlin, and my body is going to be this JSON, and let's post it. I post it against /chat with Catalyst. Let's try that. Oh, it's a put. It's a put, maybe. Okay, so now I have an index of chat with Catalyst, but it's not populated yet. So let me go back into my code and make sure that my index name is right. Let's bring down these containers. So Docker compose stop instead of down. And I'm going to nuke I don't want to bring them down. So where's my Docker compose file? I mean, copying in chat with Catalyst, which should have my should be in that folder. Oh, I know what I've done. I haven't changed into the directory. That should do it, everyone. Excuse me. Now, I hope when I bring this up that that index is created. I don't like that when I do a get, it's empty. It should give me this data back. It's not up yet. So maybe I didn't create that properly. I thought that's what I had to do, was do a put and create the index with that body. And then I should be able to get that index. Unless because it's empty. Maybe that's, I haven't populated it yet. Okay, so we're closer. It did run the pyATS job. That's good. Alright, let me bring it down. Now my concern is maybe Elastic's not going to be up before, but I have, come on, stop. So I just didn't that's in my Python code. In AI time, I have to. Sorry, I'm just missing an import here in my Python. And then at least that should be up. I'm just worried that Elastic might not be up. So I just need this. All right, let's try it. Now, but I'm pretty sure in my Docker Compose, I have it depends on, but they might not be up yet. Is there a way for me to put a delay in or something? Let's just try it. Let's just try it. I'm a little concerned that maybe Elastic's not listening before I start my QA stuff. So there's the pyATS is running. This is good. So pyATS is done, and now it's at chat with data. Oh, Elastic user. Okay, another simple mistake here that I didn't copy over. How do I do my Elastic user? Where am I doing that? I might have to turn off my screen, everyone, while I get my, oh no, maybe not. We'll have to see where I'm getting that from. I'm storing that in the database. I don't think I need to do that. Let's just hard code it. I know this is not a good practice. I made it that way in my Django project where you would put that into a database so it was obfuscated. I could put it into my environment file, but then I'd have to shut off my screen because I don't want you to see my environment file. Hey Jerry, no problem. Thanks for joining. It's nice to connect with you. I've seen you on LinkedIn a little bit recently, so thanks for all your support. Let's see what's happening here. Because I need it to be interactive. I thought I'd be able to go into my container and chat with it. So I might have to hard code the question for now. Actually, well, hang on. Let me check my index now. Well, that's not good. Does not have a supporting body. So I've got two problems here. It did update the mapping though. Okay, why is it still writing to YouTube? I see. Alright. So I'm going to have to nuke that index. Or I'm not writing to that index. Where's YouTube in the Docker file? Index name, John. Let's try this again. Well, actually, first let's hard code the question. Instead of question as interactive, let's say question equals how many interfaces do I have? Now that's a while loop. I gotta get rid of that. Right, because I need to make the container interactive for that. Let me comment the whole thing out. Needs to be interactive. Okay, let's just do this a couple times. What can you tell me about my interfaces? All right, let's try this again. And am I writing into the, not yet. Here's where I should be writing into the, okay, chat with data. Now I should be stuffing it into Elastic. Okay, that's a mistake in my code. I should have looked at my index. I didn't get any indexing errors though, so that's good. Let me delete this and fix that. I needed to update QA chain, not QA. That's my mistake, excuse me. Now my index might already have the first pass of data in it, but that's okay. This might work. Now it's hard-coded questions. I'm going to need to do some Googling and find out if I can make that container interactive somehow, where users can type in input. Otherwise, I'll need to maybe load a file of questions and iterate over the questions as opposed to hard coding it the way I have. That might work. Make a loop of questions. Okay, here we go. Chat with data. Oh. Oh boy. It's a good thing I'm not getting paid for this, eh? Where was that? 86. Any other mistakes from the... All right. So here we go. I should be chatting with it now. I hope. At least the hard-coded chatting with it. Am I printing the questions? Just the answers, eh? Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's just see if we're... Okay, so I'm getting a no API key provided. But I do have an open API key. I have that variable set. Well, it gives me a chance to print the questions too. And it didn't find the AI key here for chat completion. I thought I was setting the environment here. Let's try it again. Because this OpenAI is working, and so is my embeddings. So why is this OpenAI down here not working? Where was that? Chat completion. I could hard code the key. Let's just try it again because I think there was another problem in there. And next time even if there's an error, let me check my Elastic and see if there's any data in my index. Now there's something wrong with my index. I might have to nuke that and start it again. I'm still getting no API key. Let me try that. I'm worried about that index now. I may have to check and see here. So like that should work. let me just bring up Elastic for now and see if I can deal with that index. Okay, no, there it's good. So it is fine. I think it's because maybe I had the body turned on. So this is exactly what I want, and it's empty. So it's not being populated yet. And how do I do that pretty again? There we go, and there's my vectors. Okay, great. This is exactly what I wanted. Before I move on, I want to see if my shard size is capturing. What am I doing? I'm doing this the hard way. Collapse vector. So we're getting. Oh, that's interesting. That's why when I say how many interfaces do I have, it doesn't know. Because I'm just getting the body here. Right? I'm not capturing the outer key. Why? So I'm asking it the wrong questions. Because it doesn't have the gigabit whatever key in the body. What the heck? And I deleted the file. Can I undo that? No. 1 second. Where do I have that file? See, it should. So I have info and then the gigabit. Why is it only capturing the inner portion of the JSON? Okay, I will. I have to figure that out, but I can work with that because now I know what questions to ask it instead of asking it. How many interfaces do I have? Let's say, are all of my interfaces healthy? And what can you tell me about my interface counter information? Please provide insights into the data. Something like this. And then I'll deal with getting that outer. But it's weird because what I'm doing here is I'm doing a jQuery against info, which should include. Let's do a little bit of poking around. So here's their example. In my example I have, but it's not a list. Maybe that's why. Dot content. And inside of theirs is messages content. But mine's going to be a random gigabit interface or loopback or something. Can I do star here? Or does it have to be a list? Is that my problem? Is that I'm not putting my data inside of a list? grab the data. Oh, I don't have a testbed file. So this is what mine looks like. Info. Okay, it's not a list. It's let's use some AI to help us here. If we can, ChatGPT. I have JSON that looks like this. I need to JQ against it. I am using this. When I look into my vector store, I am getting the inner data for each interface, but not the interface name. Now, can I adjust my JQ? Oh, well, that's cool. I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, I'm taking it at face value here. And let's just validate that. Comes like this. Okay, well, let's try it. Now, let's get our Docker up. And let's nuke that index. Is my data still in raw? Yeah, okay. We're going to delete it and then re-put it so it's empty. Bring down the server, uncomment out my code, and bring it up. Now, what was my last error? I'm not going to be able to see it with all these logs have rolled over. Well, so, let's go back to our questions, and I don't need these files in there. Now that I think of it, if I have the outer question, let me duplicate this. Okay, that's been deleted. And it's been created. And there it is, but it's empty. Alright, so it's empty. Now let's try this again. And even if it fails, I'm going to still check my shards and see if I got that outer interface inside of our elastic now, or in our shards. So that jQuery is very powerful, it looks like. Well, obviously, but we can do a lot with it. And the query I want is the outer data and then that inner data. So then we have the, let's see, does it crash? Chat with data. Hasn't failed yet. We've just written to Elastic, right? Nice. No, there we go. Interface gigabit and then data. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's the key. That is the key here, everyone. So it's still running here in the background. That is awesome. I gotta make note of that. Share with world JQ. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Big round of applause, everybody. Let's hear it. So, I'm not printing my questions, so I can't really see. So this is from Chroma. You have 4 interfaces. That's not right. First interface is this. Gigabit 1. All of this information. Let's go into some more details. And this is all from Chroma. Flow controls turned off. Interfaces auto negotiate. This is all from the counters. Let's go into more details. I need to take this and put it into my room. I can't, I'm streaming. I'll have to do that later. Anyway, let me... And now, is there more information coming back? It's like just going crazy here. So here's the next answer, and this is from, where are my other answers? So that's from Chroma. Where is my Elastic output? So I'm really excited. We're off to a really good start here. I'm just wondering where my Elastic answers are. Oh, it's because I didn't differentiate here. This is pretty wicked though. This is pretty wicked. Okay, so what I need to do here is specify this is from Elastic. And I want to print my questions. Okay, let's try that. And, right, let me nuke the... let me nuke the index. I like to, let me start fresh for each pass through it. So let's just do that elastic work real quick. And where's my jQuery? Okay, so let's delete it. Let's put it. Let's stop it. And let's uncomment out that. And bring it up. And now we should print the question, the answer, and identify which one's coming from Chroma and which one's coming from Elastic. Very cool. And then I'm going to wrap things up. Any questions? Any comments? Let me know where you're from in the world. Thanks for sticking with me. Still got a few people hanging around. But we're actually chatting with the Catalyst data here, and we're getting great insights into the information. All right, here we go. Chat with the data. We've just mapped in our shards to Elastic. Okay. How many interfaces do I have? What can you tell me about them? This one is from Chroma. You have 4 interfaces. I don't know if that's true or not. Here's the information about them. And then here is the Elastic answer. And now this has only one interface reported. And here is all the data. So Elastic, right? Loopback 1002 is not functioning. And here's Elastic. It does seem to be healthy. Here's why. So I need to get more search hits going. It looks like it's only hitting the first interface with my Elastic and Chroma. Neither one of them is like 100% accurate. Unless I look at my shards here. So let's get this. Underscore search pretty, I think. No. Yes. So let's take a look here. There's interface 1. And there's interface 2. So it only seems to be hitting the first response here, not searching through the entire vector store. So it needs tuning. It needs fine tuning. But we're off to a really great start here. What can you tell me about my counter information? Here's chroma. And here's elastic. I'm going to take all of this for my chat room. And I want to thank you for joining me today. I'll be doing a lot more of this. Thanks, and stay safe and have a great weekend. Take care.